It was 331.
So some people says, can I go over 15? So,
No, I didn't see that.
so it'll be 18 x to the fourth plus 9x to the third plus 3x squared plus 0x plus 0. And I'm going to get 3x squared plus 0x plus 1. Is that okay? So I need to fill in those placeholders. So in this case, I'm going to get 6, I believe. 6x squared, maybe. So it'll be 18x to the fourth plus 0x to the second, or to the third, sorry. And then plus 6x squared. Now this is a minus sign. This should be 0. 9x to the third minus 3x squared plus 0x. Now I'm in plus 3x. So it'll be 9x cubed plus 0x plus 3. Negative 3x squared. And this is 0. And this is minus 3x. So far I'm doing okay. Plus 0. I'm going to do negative 1 here. Negative 3x squared. Plus 0x. Minus 1. So it'll be minus. This is 0. This is going to be negative 3x. Plus 1. 6x squared plus 3x minus 1 plus negative 3x plus 1 over 3x squared plus 1. What, did the book make a mistake or I make a mistake?
It says negative.
Hold on a second, let me make sure I didn't.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh.
I make a mistake here, where?
I think.
Let me make sure. I don't think book made a mistake. Usually like it's my.
No, if you factor and negative, it makes the whole thing negative.
3.3. 15. Oh, the book did not make mistake. They just pull out a negative sign. They did not pull. They did not make mistake. They just subtract this negative sign. Now this one, if you factor out negative sign, this will get 3x minus 1 over 3x squared plus 1. So same answer. Synthetic division is a lot easier. You just have to do it in the correct way. Make sure you change in sign. Make sure you drop the first term. Everything else should be pretty much easy. All right. We're going to talk about today's stuff. Okay, so say negative 3x to the third plus 5x squared minus 7x plus 1. Who's really good at math? Who's really confident that they're good at math? Sophia says he's good at math. Okay, so let's do a challenge between me and you.
No.
Okay, this is very easy challenging. All you gotta do is plug in a number. So let's just say f of x, and I want to plug in 3 in here, and you're ready to go. I'll give you like a 30-second head start. So I'm gonna count to 1, 2.
want me to plug in 3 for the
Plug in 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So I'm gonna go. You cannot make mistake.
I got negative 25, negative 26.
Negative 0.6. How'd you get negative 0.6?
It's 30, 55. Yeah. Oh, 56.
I got negative 56. What is that what you get?
So I got 24 plus 1. Yeah, you're right.
You got negative 56?
Huh?
So Olivia is better than you.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia is this one.
She didn't say she's better.
No, I got it too, but
So you got it before me or after me?
I got it like right in time. You said 30 and I
Oh.
I never said I'm better than her. It's not working.
But I'm trying to prove a point like this one. I can give you, she's from Ukraine. That doesn't count. Ukraine people can do arithmetic. We only count American. Oh, you're from Iran, so it doesn't really matter. But usually, like if you were to plug in 3, do you see how that much the work is? So it's negative 3 times 27 plus 45 minus 21 plus 1. And this one's going to be negative 81, I believe, plus 45 minus 21 plus 1. So I can say negative, so that's, I don't know, what's the number here? So negative 36 minus 21 plus 1, so it'll be negative 57 plus 1, so it's equal to negative 56. So, but I did remainder theorem. What I did is I did remainder theorem, and I got negative 56 takes about 12 seconds. But when I do this, it takes me almost 30 seconds. But when I do this, it's 12 seconds. But do you see the answer exactly the same? I just do 3 and I do synthetic division. And this is a faster way to evaluate something. If something that's very, very long and scary and ugly, you can actually use synthetic division, evaluate, it's going to be much faster. So this is known as a remainder theorem. Why does that matter though? But I'm gonna give you a question first, see if you guys can figure out. So imagine if I give you f of x, this is one of the homework question, was 2x to the 4th minus 5x to the 3rd minus x squared plus 3x plus 2. And I say, hey, can you plug in negative half? Do you really want to plug in half here?
No.
Try to do a remainder theorem.
Is that 5?
Yeah, 2x to the 4 minus 5x cubed minus x squared plus 3x plus 2. And I want to find out what happens in negative half. Can I use remainder theorem to evaluate? Because all we gotta do is take it. So I don't need a change in sign. No, nothing. No change in sign. Just keep that way it is. You don't change the sign, just keep it negative 1/2. Do you see that it's a plug in 3? I just do long division with 3. Then you got it?
Yeah.
Winston, you got it? Lydia and I got it? You guys are fast. Remember, this is gonna be. Imagine imagine now you're racing me, right? And I'm pretty fast, right? 2 times negative 1/2 to the 4th minus 5 times negative 1/2 to the 3rd minus negative 1/2 to the 2nd plus 3 times negative 1/2 plus 2, right? So this one is gonna be 2. This is gonna be 1/16. God, that's gross. Minus 5, and this is gonna be negative 1/8, and minus 1/4 minus 3/2 plus 2. Oh my god, I don't want to do this. 1/4. No, that's 1/8. I can't even do this right. 1/8 plus 5/8 minus 1/4 minus 3/2 plus 2. This is a 6/8, which is 3/4 minus 1/4 minus 3/2 plus 2. Am I doing okay? This is a 1/2 minus 3/2 plus 2. That's going to be negative 1 plus 2. Answer is 1. That's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
How much work like you did compared to mine?
Yeah.
Practically none. Even though you like probably like very scary, right? This is why remainder theorem is pretty effective when you plug in a very long polynomial of a really ugly number with a negative sign. It's much more effective. Do you guys know this? Have you done this before? So now you learn something new. It's called remainder theorem. Is this okay? Okay. No, I'm not saying you should do this all the time. I'm just saying it's something that's polynomial that you want to plug in. This will be a faster way to evaluate. But on the test, I will ask you, it says use remainder theorem to evaluate f of negative 1/2. Right. And that should be a very easy question. I think anybody can get right. And even though this question is like very gross, and this is negative 1/2, and you guys, oh my god, this is really scary. 2 times negative 1/2 is what? Negative 1, negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 1/2 is what? 3, and then there's a 2, and 2 times negative 1/2 is what? 2. 2 times negative 1/2. 1. See, this answer is so much more elegant than this, right? So like I said, math is a lot of new way to approach something if you know how to utilize what happened here. Now here's a question. The question starts with this. Let me see if I can find the question here. Okay, we're gonna use this question. We're gonna say, we're gonna introduce you something. So we're gonna talk about remainder theorem, and we might want to write down the remainder theorem. And we're gonna say is if the polynomial f of x is divided by x minus c, then the remainder, which is the remainder is the last one, is f of c. So this is the first theorem. It's called remainder theorem. If you cannot read my handwriting, I'm gonna say again. The remainder theorem if the polynomial f of x is divided by x minus c, then the remainder, so this is remainder, so let me rewrite this. Remainder is f of c. So the remainder is f of c, the evaluation of c. Now, and there is some other theorem, it's called the factor theorem. Okay, the factor theorem is important. And this one's on SAT, by the way. If you ever see the factor theorem, it's actually very intuitive. People's gonna be like, I don't understand what you're saying. But factor theorem they say if f of c is equal to 0, then x minus c is a factor of f of x. Now this is going to be the harder question of SAT, harder question, not an easy one. You're not going to see an easy question like this. If x minus c is a factor of f of x, then f of c is equal to 0. Yeah, I think so. Hopefully, it's not a 2-second video I recorded last time. Even though that, did I tell you that I had more comment on that video, on 2-second video? That's so sad. You should comment more. Did I tell you last time I have a hater? Keep on leaving bad comments. I actually know the guy. He's a tutor. He's a math tutor outside. His name's Mike. Huh? Yeah, his name is Mike. Actually, it's about your brother. Actually, it's about Alex's brother. So Max DeLong, you probably met this guy too. So Max DeLong is Alex's brother. So Max is not doing, huh?
Is this Huntington?
No, Max is not doing well at one point, so he hired a tutor. So Alex's mom hired a tutor, and this tutor named Mike. And the Max is very smart. First of all, Alex is very smart. Max is very smart. Max is very intelligent. He just don't want to do any homework. Max was like, so Max like hired a tutor. I said, you don't need to hire a tutor. You just come after school. The tutor is free. You don't need to pay for no one. And they still insist on hire a tutor. So I called this tutor up. I was like, yeah, yo, you're not good enough to teach my student. I'm sorry, but you're not good enough. So don't teach my student, please. And I think he got very salty. So that's why he been left bad comment. But that was my fault because I started being very hostile because I just don't really think if Max really need to hire somebody to tutor him because he's quite smart. So this tutor ended up like every single video I make for like 5 videos, he'd make a bad comment on it. But anyway, that's okay. I kind of deserve it. I'm an ass. Anyway, there's always some funny thing in my classroom. Okay, so we're going to talk about this question. Okay, so hopefully you can understand this. Now this question is going to start this. Giving that we know 3 is a 0 of f of x. 3 is a 0. Okay, 3 is a 0. And how do I know 3 is 0? Can I do remainder theorem? 3, 2, -3, -11, and 6. We can verify if that's true. 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Is that okay? This one's going to be 3. This is 9. This is negative 2. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 is 0. So it'll be 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. Wait, why did I write that? Because if I were to plug in 3 in here, this is going to result with 0. Does that make sense? So far, because we got 0, right? But this also means if I take this and I divide it by x minus 3, that is going to be the rest of the function. So can I change this to this? Does that make sense? How many of you guys don't make sense? Okay. We already told you 3 is going to make it 0. We verify it. We plug in 3 is equal to 0. But imagine that this also represents this function divided by x minus 3. And the 2x squared plus 3x minus 3 is the rest of the factor. Because it's that same thing as saying this is divided by x minus 3. Because 3 is a 0, so x minus 3 must be a factor. Does that make sense? 3, let me say that again. 3 is a 0. Think about x equal to 3. If I move to 3 to the other side, x minus 3, this is a factor. This is the remaining factor right here. Got it? Then I can factor more. Right, I can factor more by using a box. And it'll be 2x and x. And there's 2 and 1. This is going to be 4x and x. This is negative, negative. So this would be 2x minus 1, x plus 2. So x equal to 3, x equal to negative 1/2, x equal to negative 2. Now if I'm, negative 2. Now if I move back, it becomes factor. If I move negative 2 to the other side, it's become x plus 2 is a factor. If I move to the other side, multiply by 2 on both sides. Actually, this is a plus 1, sorry. This is a plus 1. So I got 3 zeros. So it turns out there's a new way to factor using remainder theorem and factor theorem. A new way to factor. I'm going to give you a shot at this before you go. So you got 8 minutes to figure out 15x to the cube plus 14x squared minus 3x minus 2. And we told you negative 1 is the 0 of f of x. Can you find out all the zeros? Because this 3 represents how many zeros? This 3 represents how many zeros? 3 zeros, right? But we give you 1. We say negative 1 is one of them. Can you figure out the rest?
Do you want to factor the last one?
Yeah, I want you to find all the zero. If we have 1 zeros, can you factor out the rest of the zero? And write out the rest of the factors. So that's a new way to factor. If I give you a 0, right? We said it's -1 is going to give you a 0. Can you just use -1 and then find out the factor? If this is -1, that means factor is what? X plus 1. Does that make sense? Think about it. X equal to -1. If I move to the other side, X plus 1 is a factor, right? Does that make sense? Did you find out the rest of zeros? I can do 15, 14, -3, -2. I'm gonna plug in -1 here. That's gonna give you 15. -15, -1, 1. -2, -2, 2, 0. So it's gonna be x plus 1 times 15 x squared minus x minus 2. Is that okay? Can I factor out rest of them? So 3x, 5x, I'm going to do 2 and 1, 6x and 5x, this one to be negative. So it'll be x plus 1 times 5x minus 2 times 3x minus 1. X equal to -1, x equal to x equal to 2/5, x equal to 1/3. Okay.
The x minus
What?
the x minus 1. Should be plus 1.
Which one?
The x minus 1.
In the box, the 1 is positive.
The 1 is positive. Oh, this one's positive, so this is negative. Any questions? So today, so pretty much every single question here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 questions total. Can I airdrop to you?
Yeah.
And can you somebody put on the group chat? It's only 7 questions. It's very similar. So the first one is synthetic division. You have to figure out synthetic division using remainder theorem. Then you got it.
Yeah.
Can you help me put on the group chat? Thank you. See you next time.